Some quick praise for Raising Cain, Brian De Palma's 1992 film, more specifically its director's cut released in the early 2010s. This so-called director's cut was actually edited together by a Brian De Palma fan who sent it to the director, or compiled it and then sent it to the director upon hearing that De Palma was not happy with the film's initial edit, and this particular fan wanted to compose a film that was a cut of the film that was closer to De Palma's original script, which he had written. And so De Palma was so happy with this fan's cut that he decided that he would name this the official director's cut, and director's cut releases of Raising Cain would feature this fan's particular cut. So thank you, Piet Gelderblom, because Raising Cain now can stand as one of De Palma's finest works of all time. I used to claim that the most frightening and disturbing moment in film history, or the most disturbing shot, was that of the dying cancer patient witnessing her husband having an affair shortly before her final moments and kind of willing herself out of existence. There's some screen caps that spoil that moment here, so do remove yourself from this webpage and view Raising Cain now if you'd like to see that scene for yourselves without being spoiled beforehand. When I was younger, I used to enjoy John Lithgow's performances as the happier, kind of affable type. There's that fun sitcom, there's a, Third Rock from the Sun, and then of course, just bizarre performances here and there. He's a kooky guy. And then when I initially viewed him in Brian De Palma's Blowout, I was stunned at how he was able to depict one of the coldest icemen in the history of cinema. Maybe the coldest. And then in Raising Cain, he commits to this multiple personality disorder, kind of over-the-top, extremely performative, manic beast, which is some of the most watchable and bizarre performances committed to since the inception of film itself. I find them absolutely enthralling. John Lithgow's work here is mesmerizing, frankly. I will just share this. This is the first time I've actually uploaded a video on one of Brian De Palma's works, and I'll have to share here now my love and affinity for Mr. De Palma. I try so very hard to find the genius in every single one of his feature films released thus far. There's a few of them which this is not the easiest task. The film that was released right before 1992's Raising Cain was 1990's The Bonfire of the Vanities, which is an absolute chore. Oh my god, don't. If I say don't watch The Bonfire of the Vanities, you'll totally be tempted to. So I'm not even gonna say anything though. I definitely recall talking about Brian De Palma when I discussed Ulai Lommel's 2006 The Black Dahlia, so I could compare it and contrast it with Brian De Palma's The Black Dahlia film released that same year. Ulai Lommel's film was essentially released to capitalize on De Palma's bigger budget picture. De Palma's picture is just terrible. Anyone who's seen that film knows how unfortunate and disappointing it is. Although Lommel's film was somehow more interesting just due to it being alien and disgusting, it's quite morbidly fascinating, and I don't feel great about feeling that way, but I do. Recently, I was lavishing Alfred Hitchcock with praise. One of my earliest FOTDs, in fact, was The Wrong Man. And then, of course, we have The Birds, and then we had Psycho quite recently. And yet, you may be surprised to hear, but I prefer De Palma to Hitchcock. I worship Hitchcock, but I really worship Brian De Palma. Brian De Palma took Hitchcock to the next level, and Brian De Palma did something which Hitchcock did not do. Brian De Palma never actually went out of his way to commit to this, but he could have. Let me explain. We all know the shower scene in Psycho wouldn't be as effective if Bernard Herrmann's screeching was present. De Palma's thriller sequences do feature music, although they could be similarly effective without the music. That is, I insist, is the case. And De Palma's, as a result, I feel as though De Palma's sequences have attained a level of cinematic holism, which is unlike anything in perhaps any other motion picture director, certainly in the Hitchcockian tradition. The elevator scene in Dressed to Kill could be just as frightening and terrifying without any original score behind it whatsoever. As much as I love Pino Donaggio, I suspect that this could be the same for 1992's Raising Cain. If you have not seen Raising Cain, go and view the director's cut. If you have seen Raising Cain, go and view the director's cut. This film is absolutely. I love this film, and I like to think that others may feel the same, and if they don't, you can all judge me for it. I don't mind. Have a fantastic day.